And good night to Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Rest of the Eastern Caribbean, wherever you are locally, regionally, internationally. Once again, it is time for Talking Points. My name is Sheldon Scott. I'll be here with you up until the 10 o'clock hour. Hope everything is going all well and okay in your neck of the woods, and that you've had a fabulous day today. You have to check up on your friends, check up on your family. With what's going on these days, you never know, huh? Always check up on your friends, check up on your family. You never know. Saying it early tonight. Good night to you, Camille, Teresa, Scott. Hope you're having a wonderful night. All of you are having a wonderful, fabulous night tonight. Our listeners out there in North Carolina, those of you in Texas. I don't know if many of you are in South Carolina, but I know North Carolina. Arizona, my good friends out there in Arizona, good night to you. They tune in every single night. Good night to you all. They even tune in when they leave Arizona and in Grenada. Then I have to say those in Grenada from Arizona. Hope to see you all in Grenada soon, huh? So good night to our Bajan listeners, our Trinidad and Tobagonian listeners. Yes, we do have listeners who tune in from Tobago and from Trinidad. Our South American listeners, those listening in Venezuela, Aruba, Bonaire, and Curaçao. The ABC Islands, good night to you. Those of you in Venezuela, those of you in Suriname, those of you in Guyana. I don't know if we have any listeners who tune in from French Guyana. I must check on that, yeah. I can tell from here. Must really check on that. Those of you from St. Lucia, St. Kitts, Dominica, Anguilla, Jamaica. Yeah, I know my Jamaican friends are getting ready for their election. Elections in Jamaica have to be called within the next couple of weeks. Within the next 2 to 3 weeks, they must call the general election in Jamaica, if I'm remembering correctly the timelines, yeah? Also believe elections should be coming up in St. Vincent pretty soon as well. The rest of the islands kind of on holding pattern, watching what's going on, you know. I've forgotten you. Special good night to each and every one of you. Matthew and Patricia, good night to both of you. Matthew! Ian out there in Canada, I haven't heard from you for a while, but I know you're there, my brother. We speak Grenadian issues here, and you're a patriotic Grenadian. You're always tuned in. I know you're there. Even if you don't call, I know you're there. And folks, remember, when we do open the phone line, to get onto the inside, you've got to call us on the WhatsApp number. Only the WhatsApp number we can take calls on right now. We're not able to take calls yet direct, or we're not able to take the overseas line that we usually utilize. We're not able to take calls on either one. And Mrs. McPhail, yes, Mr. Hudson McPhail, Mrs. Maureen McPhail, good night to both of you. Mr. McPhail, I saw that, I think it was St. John's Christian, I think they awarded you today or so. Yeah, nice. to all our viewers on the YouTube and on the Facebook. I won't do the roll call tonight. Yeah. If some sort of problem is there tonight, you know, yeah. Don't find my video is as smooth as it's supposed to be. My music is sticking, yeah. Got the YouTube working tonight, so yeah, Facebook, sorry, yes, we've got the Facebook working tonight, yeah. What took place last night, we're not sure. It had to be Facebook itself that had an issue, but at least we've got the Facebook on tonight for you, yeah? It's time for us to go into some reminders, so let me just give you some reminders early up in the program.
Yeah, 929-445-4468. Yeah, 929-445-4468.
Oh boy, yeah, what's the matter with you? Oh boy, let me see what's the problem here. Yeah, that was extremely loud. I'm not sure where that is coming from. Yeah, so let me see here and see once again. Let's try that one more time. Yeah, let's try that again.
TV at 929-445-4463, or you can email us at wenoisetv@gmail.com. WeNoise TV, the leading streaming provider. Anytime, anywhere, any screen. Access to your favorite HD contents with prices as low as ever. Choose from monthly, quarterly, or yearly payments. This worldwide service is flexible for you to keep up with all your favorite programs, shows, movies, and local programming from home no matter where you travel to. Worldwide TV channels right at your fingertips wherever you are. Latest in live sports, binge watch all your favorite TV shows, movies on demand, videos on demand. You can pause, rewind, fast forward anytime. Never miss 1 minute in entertainment important to you. No contracts, no added prices for sports or premium packages. We certainly don't have to pull tricks like cable and satellite companies. Our product speaks for itself and beyond. WeNoise TV. We have everything like Netflix, Disney, Amazon. Watch your favorite movies, TV shows, and series with our services. With our service, you will get rid of all other subscriptions. For more information, contact WeNoise TV at 929-445-4463, or you can email us at wenoisetv@gmail.com.
Fitness Revolution 11 2025. 16 days of fun, fitness, laughter, energy. I just want to encourage everybody to come down to both Tantin, Old Trafford playing field, and Monroe's Grenada for an eventful, fun, fitness, and giveaways. Fitness Revolution 11, one and all. See you there.
Okay, now I see what's the matter. Yes, indeed, folks. So yeah, you have the fitness revolution for those of you that need to get in shape like me. You know, sometimes you have to work on the belly and thing. Yeah, for those of you that need to get in shape, check out Fitness Revolution. And also, folks, remember we have some activities coming up. Remember the St. Patrick West Constituency branch of the New National Party. They've got that breakfast taking place this Saturday. Come on, breakfast, come on up. Yes, indeed. The St. Patrick West Constituency branch, they've got their spicy breakfast. And it starts at 6 a.m. this Saturday at the Sauters Bus Terminal, $10 per box. And you can have Tanya log, cocoa tea, bush tea, bakes and saltfish, fry fish, cuckoo bakes, and smoked herring and provision. All right, so that's going to be taking place at the St. Patrick West Constituency branch. They're going to be at the Sauters Bus Terminal this Saturday, 5th of July, from 6 a.m. with that breakfast. All right, nice. Let me see who else is there. The New National Party After Work Lime. That takes place tomorrow. Yes, that's taking place tomorrow at the New National Party headquarters out there in Tempe. And indeed, it starts from 4 p.m. You know you don't have to pay nothing to enter. It's the New National Party, you understand? You have to pay nothing to enter there, but food and drinks will be on sale. All right, so they're going to have food, they're going to have drinks on sale. Head on out there. Now, leave a look at something in the bar for me. Don't worry, I will get it. Leave a look at something in the bar for me. Yes, say, watch, I leave in that 5 day for a drink for Sheldon, that 10 for a drink for Sheldon. Leave it in the bar, tell them it's for me. They go put it aside. When I reach, I will get it. Nice. So that is taking place tomorrow, the 4th of July, at the New National Party headquarters out there in Tempe, St. George, from 4 p.m. All right. Also remember little Kilani. No, go back to Kilani. Hey, don't ever come off my child. Hey, that is my girl, you know. Right, yes, just remember little Kalani needs your help, all right? And you have the account numbers there. We're going to give you some more information pretty soon in relation to Kalani and her situation. We have to give you an update in relation to that pretty soon, all right? And also, folks, remember the St. Patrick East Constituency branch. They've also got a breakfast taking place this weekend. So this is happening on Friday as well. It starts from 7:30 a.m. at the River Sally Junction. They've got eggs, saltfish, hot dogs, coconut baked bread, fried breadfruit, cocoa tea, bush tea, tanya log, juice. I find them St. Patrick's people, what people reach back downtown if you come up for that breakfast, you know. The way all they putting out some kind of breakfast is St. Patrick East and St. Patrick West. Yeah, BJ, good night. I finally putting out some kind of breakfast there. If man come up, man, I go on to leave up there. Yeah, and the next thing I want a house up there, I want to stay up there, all kind of thing. Don't worry, me a government minister, me ain't buying land in Craigston and all them places. I ain't have them kind of money. Yeah. But the St. Patrick East Constituency branch, remember folks, they're having that breakfast sale this Saturday from 7:30 a.m. In River Sally at the junction. All right, so eggs, saltfish, hot dog, coconut baked bread, fried breadfruit, cocoa tea, bush tea, tanya log, juice and thing. You want to get some bush tea and thing? Head on up there this weekend. All right, and let me just make sure the phone lines are up and running and everything ready to go. The phone lines and thing there in case anybody want to call. We open the phone lines early. All right, and let me just see the messages that are coming in there. Okay, yes, somebody warned me about the food poisoning. They make sure I have charcoal around and thing. Yes, that's a good idea. I didn't even think of that one. And I'm supposed to know that, and I didn't even think of that one. Thank you very much, listener. Yes, indeed, folks. So today, we're getting into it one time. You know, we ain't sticking today. We're getting into thing one time. Hey, and call come through one time. Hello, good night.
Sheldon, good night, and good night to the lovely people in Grenada, Carriacou, with Madrid.
And to the beautiful
Yeah,
Camille Teresa Scott, good night
you
to you.
hearing me?
Yes, we're hearing
You
you
hearing
clearly.
me?
Very clear.
All right. I can't stay long, God. I don't have credit.
Oh,
But another ball got a good man was saying, and I don't want the phone to shut down because it's keep shutting on me, freezing on me.
okay.
Two people in Happy Hill. A man leave at $20 and I leave $10.
Wonderful.
They just tell me to leave that for you. I put it in a bottle so they go pass.
All right,
Yes.
no problem. We'll organize.
Good night. Good night to everybody.
All right.
A day, I lie down listening. I'm back out in them and I lie down.
Boy, I understand how it goes.
Shall I again? Who are you calling for? Patty and Matthew, good night. Love you all very much.
But my kneecap
Good
can't
night
tell
to
me the
you.
same thing these days, eh? My kneecap only tell me the
Yeah.
same thing these days.
Yeah. Good night, Patty and Matthew. Have a wonderful night. And Miss Yolande also, good night to you and Val and Dr. Mitchell, everybody. And Mr. David, good night to you, sir. Yes. Have a good night, everybody. Bye.
Night, Camille. All right, you have a
Yes,
wonderful
I'm
one.
listening. I'm listening.
I know your day.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Martin and Vero, good night too. They pass and look for me today.
Oh gosh, my people.
Later.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Martin and Miss V. Yes, I know how it goes, man. Yeah, let me play these for you, though. I just want to play one or two things here before I get into any other area. I just want to play these for you. And I'm just making sure, I just have to switch between computers. So let me just get this one up. Yeah.
Dutch lady condensed milk is $6.05 now, from $4.00. So it's really hard. It's hard.
Interacting today with quite a number of consumers, there's no doubt that the cost of living in Grenada is killing our ordinary people. So many people are finding it very difficult to put food, basic food, on the table. But this is confirmed by the CPI, the Consumer Price Index, that shows consistently that there's an increase in the cost of food, the cost of medication, and other areas. We admit and we understand the rising cost of living is not always within the control of the government, but there are things that government can do, things that the NNP administration would have done in the past to cushion or to reduce the rising cost of living. So let me just hint to a few of those measures that this government can indeed take to help cushion the effects and to reduce the cost of living, reduce the burden on poor families throughout this country. One basic thing that can be done is to seriously, and I say seriously, expand the basket of VAT exempted items. There are a number of items that carries VAT. And if the VAT is exempted, is removed by this administration, it reduces the cost to the ordinary family. So you can expand the basket of goods that have VAT exempted for families. In addition to that, government can return to cap the cost of gas, right? The cost of electricity. The NNP administration removed taxes on electricity. If this administration moved to do that, to reduce additional taxes on electricity, what you find is a reduction of electricity cost that doesn't only benefit the consumers, as in households, but also businesses like this one, businesses that are struggling day by day to survive, to keep the fridge running, the cost of electricity, and people are hardly even buying. So it means that if the government take these actions, it can definitely help to reduce the cost of living. The cost of medication, the Consumer Price Index shows that not just goods, but medication costs continues to increase on a consistent basis. And so we can do something to support those families that depend on medication on a monthly basis, right? How do we ensure that these families, when they go to health facilities, medical facilities, that they do not have to pay? So under the new National Party administration, there was a policy that senior citizens don't pay for medical services, that families that cannot afford do not pay for medical services. And we believe that these policies must be implemented, especially at this time when the cost of medication has been increasing consistently. But of course, our safety net programs, we've seen how this administration has reduced safety net programs, and these programs were essential so that families were able to better cope with the rising cost of living. But let us just look at policies. The policies of the government could significantly affect families and how they are able to cope with the rising cost of living. So for example, the government's decision, a policy decision to add VAT to sugar has significantly increased the cost of sugar. And let us not just think about families, but let us also think of businesses, small businesses, struggling businesses that use sugar on a daily basis. Not just the cost of sugar. Government has placed a levy on water. Think of what that means to the average family. And of course, as I said before, the cost of electricity was increased because of a policy decision of this administration, because of its action. And so we are calling on this administration. We are calling on this administration to reverse actions that they have taken since the last general election that has resulted in an increase in the cost of living. And those areas where they are able, they have the ability, they can take action to further reduce the cost of living, or to help push on the effects. We are appealing to this administration to do something, because families throughout this country, small businesses like these, are sincerely struggling to cope with the rising cost of living. So I just want to encourage you, don't give up whatever the circumstances are. Keep fighting, keep doing what is right, and keep working hard to make an honest living. So what do you think you can do to manage your anger? What do you think you can do, as you said, to cool down, cool down your anger? Okay. No, well, that's interesting, because in the club, breathe in and breathe out. You would find something else to do, a distraction, right? Do something that could occupy you positively. Like what? What is something positive that somebody can do?
Ride a bicycle.
Ride your bicycle, okay.
Play.
Read, wonderful. I love that one too. Exercise, go do some jumping jacks. Yeah, I like that.
Study.
You can go and get your notebook and study, right? Wonderful. One more, anything else? What can you do to bring down, what did you say? To cool down your anger. I like it. What else would you do? Okay.
Listen to a calm song.
Okay, so listen to a calm song. You guys are so intelligent, right? So you go listen to a nice slow song that would calm you down. Wonderful. I love that one too. Right, so he said a cold bath, you said an ice bath. So what, you're going to put some ice in the water and, okay. Wow, wonderful. What's in an ice stove? Okay. You go and fly a kite, you do something fun, right?
Games.
Go and play some games. Wonderful.
Clean the yard.
I like, and mommy gonna like that one. Clean the yard, wash the wells.
Ride your bicycle.
Ride your bicycle.
Cook your
Help mommy clean up the house, right? So we shouldn't be getting angry and getting out of control and hurting people and cussing people, because we know all these great things we can do, right? There are so many things you told me that you can do. So now we want to practice them. Let me see those who are prepared to practice them. Because knowing them is one thing, but practicing them is another thing, right? So put your hands together for yourself. You're going to practice all of those things that you just said. All right. Good. Wonderful. Wonderful. And because you promised me that you're going to practice them, because you promised you're going to practice them, guess what? We're going to have a little ice cream to celebrate and to agree that we are going to practice them, right? Good?
Yes, indeed, folks. No, there was one more. Come on, what was the matter with you? There's one more video there that I want to play. Let me just get that particular one here. Yeah.
I wish the conversation surrounding the serious explosion that took place in Telescope yesterday can be elevated. I am happy that Gravel and Concrete, from their statement, pledged their commitment to work with other stakeholders to ensure that there is a thorough investigation and that action is taken to respond to the damages that individuals would have suffered. I'm hopeful that this investigation would be completed in short time and that the community would be appraised as to what exactly would have happened. Not just what would have happened, but to ensure that systems are put in place so that this does not happen again, not in Telescope and not in any part of Grenada. The statement by Gravel and Concrete also indicated that an assessment is taking place at this time. Our office yesterday immediately started collecting some information which we are quite prepared to share with NADMA as well as with Gravel and Concrete. And we do hope that on completion of this assessment that the relevant action will be taken to provide support to all of those who have been affected as a result of this. I thank God that no life was lost, and we are very hopeful that, as I said before, all systems will be put in place to ensure that this does not happen again, to threaten the lives of people and their security, not just their lives, but threatening their properties as well.
Yes, indeed, folks. That was a message from the political leader of the New National Party, specifically to the people of Telescope and those other areas affected by the events of day before, but also to the nation on a whole, because from what we're hearing some kind of stories surrounding that day, Papa, you hearing some kind of stories surrounding that day. Let me reopen the phone line. I just muted the phone lines. I realized I missed a couple calls, but I did have to mute the phone lines as I was playing the audio. So callers who were trying to call, you can call in now. Now, I listened to the Prime Minister speaking about that event. I listened to him speaking about that event just yesterday. Yeah. In fact, let me let you all hear for yourself.
It's based on the briefing that I have for us, and so there's still some assessment to do. I don't know if the Honorable Senator David Andrew is here, but he was still in Telescope when I spoke to him before I arrived, meeting with persons who were impacted by the blast. So if he manages to make it up, I would ask him to...
Yeah, you could speed past all that nonsense. We're really interested in that.
And they'd been stored there for some time, in years ago. Previously, in St. George's, explosives which were previously used for blasting at the Telescope quarry in years gone by. These ordinances were stored at the SSU camp in Point Salines, and they'd been stored there for some time, and it was obvious that the ordinances, because of the long period of storage and the conditions in which they were stored, needed to be destroyed because they were becoming unstable. And unstable ordinances are prone to explode. So the Commissioner of Police and his team would have granted permission, and you'd have to appreciate that ordinances are explosives, they're munitions, so they're always kept under lock and key and as much as possible in the possession of the security forces. So permission was given to the Gravel and Concrete team to destroy the ordinances. So the decision to destroy them was in fact a sound one based on the need to ensure that there was no unintended explosion at Point Salines. The site chosen was the Telescope quarry, and an employee of Gravel and Concrete was put in charge of the process of destroying the ordinances. Without giving details, I will say that the reports indicate that the process chosen to destroy the ordinances was not prudent and was not in keeping with best practices. The net result is that you had, as I think even people in Hermitage would have experienced, a massive unintended explosion that caused significant damage to the gravel and concrete building itself, that caused damage to the police vehicle that was present on the scene, because that vehicle would have been used to escort the ordinances up to make sure no one didn't run off with them. And obviously persons who were on site and within the hearing range of the blast naturally would have suffered significant, perhaps, hearing impairment. 4 persons were hospitalized and subsequently discharged, including the police officer who was on the scene. And there were significant craters and so on created in the ground and damage to the shrub and so on. Thankfully, no one was killed, and thus far, perhaps outside of the hearing challenges as a result of the blast, there may not be significant physical injury to anyone. But as you may be aware, there was, in addition to the telescope quarry building itself, damage to properties in Grenville, in Telescope, and as far as Soubise in some cases where people's glass shattered. The management of gravel and concrete, as well as the National Disaster Management Agency, have been in the field today, particularly in Telescope, meeting with residents, taking information, assessing the damage. There is no doubt, and I'm making it clear and public, that the Gravel and Concrete Corporation is responsible for the consequences of the unfortunate and regrettable detonation. And so for persons who suffered loss and damage as a result, the Gravel and Concrete Corporation will have to make good on that. So we will work with them to make sure that they can, as quickly as possible, deploy the necessary resources to be able to minimize inconvenience and disruption to persons. Took place at the Telescope Quarry.
All right, folks, and yeah, caller who was trying to call, you can call back. No, yeah, you can. Let me just message them. Yeah, you can call. No. Nice. Yes, indeed, folks. So you've heard from the Prime Minister there about the explosion that took place in Telescope. Now, several questions here, and this has been asked by several people over the last 48 hours or so. You had unstable explosives. You decided that you had to dispose of the unstable explosives. The unstable explosives, and let's just take the call here and I'll get back to that point. Hello, good night. Oh, my mistake here. Hello, good night.
Good night. Good night, Sheldon.
Hi, good night, caller. You're live. Go right ahead.
Yeah. Carriacou in the house.
Carriacou. How you doing?
I'm fine, I'm fine.
All right, wonderful. Yes, go right ahead. You're live.
Well, no one calling from Carriacou for the past couple of weeks. I don't know what's going on.
I find
and I've been listening.
Carriacou people get too quiet. And I don't. They're messaging me that they're calling me personally, but they ain't calling the show.
Sheldon, I have nothing to worry about. You want to vex, they can vex. I'm my NNP until the day I die. And I don't afraid no one. We have a lot of damage, and we're trying our best to see whatever we can do. We done some work already, and I'm not going to no one for no help because I know I won't get it. I was away arriving in Carriacou on the 7th of January, and when I get in my house and I look around, I just wanted was to just take my husband and just come out the door, get a flight and go back. And people is looking at my house and saying we get no damage. They're only looking at the house in the front of the road. But they don't come inside and look around to see the damage we have. But we are trying our best. I know there is a lot of people worse than us. We are trying our best and do all our work ourselves. Who want to listen and come at me tomorrow, I don't care, I don't afraid them. And that's my call to you tonight. And you take care.
Okay,
I guess as much as you know. I guess as much as you know who I am anyway.
Yes, you don't worry. You're going to see me in Carriacou soon enough.
All right, then. And you take care and have a blessed day.
You have a wonderful one yourself. All right.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Carriacou people. Yes, indeed. But many of the folks who have spoken to me from Carriacou, they've said directly, they're afraid because there is so much victimization taking place that they're afraid that if they talk, and that there was still a slim chance of them getting something, they either wouldn't get it or they'll be pushed right down to the end of the line, or they'll be victimized in some other way using the government system. So many of them, they're just afraid to call. They just are afraid to call. Yeah? And just before that, I'll get back to Carriacou in a short. Yes, I definitely am getting back to Carriacou in a short while. Imagine you have explosives. They are secured on a military barracks, in a military barracks. So they're secured at SSU barracks down in Point Saline. They've been there for a while. You recognize that these things have been there too long. They're starting to degrade. There's a possibility that they can detonate, they can go off, whatever. And, you know, it's all brothers and sisters that down in SSU camp, you know. It's other Grenadians there. It ain't Sudanese that come in Grenada and they put on SSU camp. It is Grenadians. Our sons and daughters from Piti Martinique, Carriacou, and Grenada, they are the ones that are on SSU base. You have new recruits going and train down there. And you have other people who go down from time to time to carry out other duties and so down on the camp down there. So, and I'm going to hold on the call until I finish this particular. Okay, let me take the call and then. Yeah, let me take it. Hello, good night.
Sheldon, sorry to call back.
Yeah, no problem.
I forget to tell you, there is a sister that died. Very strong supporter, NNP supporter from Montcroche. Miss Matilda. She died. So I want. She always will be dancing.
Yeah.
Whenever they are meeting, she always. Yes, she passed on. So, let the people know,
Okay.
Yes. Anyhow, good night. I just remember actually we call you back
No problem.
before. I just have a few cents.
Oh, God. Don't
She died and she's a very strong supporter. She living in Montcroche. She used to live there. She died now.
Okay.
But she saw the rest.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Our
My
condolences
sympathy to the family. Bye-bye.
All right. Yes, indeed, folks. So our sympathy go out to the family of Miss Maria. I do know Miss Matilda. Go out to her family and her friends, etc. So I'm saying, one, so there was the danger that was down there at the SSU barracks to our men and women in uniform and others, because from the volume of that blast and knowing the structure of SSU camp, that was even the people living on the hillside from SSU barracks, and that was any vehicle that was passing in the road from SSU barracks. If such a detonation took place down there, and without going into details, it would definitely have been much worse if that had taken place down at SSU barracks. So the decision to remove, let me be clear, was a right one. The decision to remove it from SSU barracks was a right one. The question, though, is what process was used to remove? Because are they going to tell us, and in no way, and let me just make this clear, in no way am I blaming the Gravel and Concrete Emulsion Corporation. I'm not blaming them. This is a national security issue, not a gravel and concrete issue. You're speaking about dangerous explosives and having them properly dealt with. It is not. And don't get tapped with this, because this government likes to shift blame. We have a Minister of National Security. We have a Ministry of National Security. I'm not too sure. Maybe we still have an advisor of national security. They are the ones who are supposed to give directives in relation to issues like this based on advice. It's not the gravel and concrete. These are explosives. Gravel and concrete could have a person that works along with them. Yes, no problem. I'm not blaming gravel and concrete. How did these explosives leave SSU camp and end up in Telescope at that site? That's the important question to ask. How were they transported? were they put on a boat outside Point Saline and taken up to that telescope site, which in my view should have been the only way that could have possibly been dealt with. But then they go say it bumping up and down on the water and all that kind of thing, and that could have set it off, ain't it? But it was bumping and down, up and down on the road, ain't it? Because that was transported somehow. I know if anybody see a helicopter come in and pick up anything in SSU camp and go, but more than likely, these dangerous explosives that were already degrading to the point of where they became unstable, in other words, anything could have set them off, too much heat, anything could have set them off, these were transported from SSU barracks to telescope, which means that they had to pass through residential areas. That means they had to pass through, is either they pass through Granans Valley or they pass through along Granans Maid Road into Belmont or wherever. Where did they pass with this thing? Because they endangered the lives of literally not one or two, but thousands of Grenadians in the process of transporting this from point A to point B. What sort of vehicle was used to transport this? That's the next question you have to ask, because I don't think we have any bomb disposal units here in Grenada, any vehicle for that to do. So what vehicle was used to transport this from point A to point B? Did they pass through the town of Grenville? Because if that had gone off in the town of Grenville, we know what's going on. It meant that they had to pass through telescope, the same houses and things, they had to pass through there to go down to the quarry site to go and dispose of this thing. And remember, this is not all of it. From the indications by the Prime Minister and others, there seemed to be more of it still in SSU barracks. So how are they going to deal with this now? And now you're speaking of the proper protocols were not carried out, and you're blaming guys. Not gravel and concrete to blame. It is a national security issue. You're speaking about something which could have caused the deaths of hundreds into thousands of people according to where you pass with it and when you pass with it. So this is not a joking matter, and this is not stretching things. This is saying straight that what was done there needs more than just a cursory investigation by gravel and concrete. Gravel and concrete is the least of the apostles in this one. That's my view. Yes, it belonged to gravel and concrete. Massa bull, massa cow. Gravel and concrete belong to the government of Grenada. Stop that stupidness. Massa bull, massa cow. So it needs more of an investigation than the cursory investigation by the Gravel and Concrete Incorporation. And then just the Royal Grenada Police Force. And while that is taking place, remember, they still have unstable explosives sitting in the SSU barracks with our brothers and sisters and nieces and nephews and sons and daughters, and in some cases fathers and mothers down there in the SSU barracks. So you need to have a quickly devised but sound, intelligent, reasonable and safe procedure developed quickly to get rid of what is down in SSU barracks remaining. The remaining set down there, to get it out and to get it sorted out. Because you are putting in danger not just the lives of the men and women at SSU barracks, but even, remember, that's the airport road. So you're putting in danger people traveling along that road, especially at this time of year. And the houses and so on nearby. You're putting all of that in danger. I'm not going to go further. I want to make that statement. But I'll just say the houses nearby. So this government that seems to give you the impression that this is a gravel and concrete issue needs to wake up. And the so-called Minister of National Security needs to wake up and realize this isn't a gravel and concrete issue. This is a you issue. And you've got to deal with it. We know you don't have the competency because you're incompetent. We know you don't have the capability because you're incapacitated mentally to handle things like that. But at least if you don't, find people who do and get advice as to how to properly dispose of what remains and investigate how it happened. that this unstable explosives were more than likely driven along the public main road, past schools of children, past churches that possibly had people in them, past business places where people were going about their normal business, and busloads of people going to and fro, that these explosives were driven past all of that. And even if you're passing in the middle of the night, you were still passing through residential areas. So that a proper, well thought out procedure for 1, securing, 2, removal, and then 3, disposal needs to be put in place. Because what has been done, you saw the result, and we were lucky that that took place down there. Because the mere fact you're trying to dispose of it means that you are aware that it is dangerous in its current form. So don't come and say that nothing can happen with it. Talk to somebody else on that. I was a chemistry student. Talk to somebody else on that. Don't try that one with me. I'll embarrass you. Yeah? It is dangerous in its current form. And therefore, proper measures need to be taken. I see what I have to say in relation to that one. 1473-440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get onto inside. You know, it's interesting, eh? When you hear people saying things and then other people come back. Now, here's the problem I have as we get on to the end of the first hour. I have a serious problem with members of this administration and what they are attempting to do. Now, they are saying things. When we take what they say and play it back, they're getting upset and saying these people just spreading rumors and saying also, we're not spreading rumors. We're playing what you said. If you don't mean it, don't say it. But we are simply playing what these individuals, for instance, when we play this particular one.
After the Beryl response, we were looking for contractors to do small houses, and we were not getting contractors. Yeah, exactly. So then we hire people, they say they could bill, and when you see what they bill, is a disaster, next disaster. And we were not getting contractors. Yeah, exactly. So then we hire people, they say they could bill, and when you see what they bill, is a disaster, next disaster. You know, so we really need to get our people, especially our young men, upgraded with skills. Yes. Because to do small houses, and we were not getting contractors. Yeah, exactly. So then we hire people, they say they could bill, and when you see what they bill, is a disaster, next disaster. You know, so we really need to get our people, especially our young men, upgraded with skills. Yeah.
And one more time before I play what I have to play again.
And we were not getting contractors.
Yeah, exactly.
So then we hire people, they say they could bill, and when you see what they bill, is a disaster, next disaster. You know, so we really need to get our people, especially our young men, upgraded with skills. Yes.
So that was Sister Glow on the 1st of June on the NDC Heartbeat program, when she was speaking about the fact that the houses were not built properly. Many of the houses were not built properly. Yeah, she was saying that. Then just looking over something earlier today, I realized that the MP for St. Patrick East had some words for Sister Glow, because it can't be people like me talking to her. To be Sister Glow he talking to, definitely was not talking to me.
Houses are leaking, and also the houses are not built properly. Again, I want to dispel this
Hold on, now let me take it from the top.
They talk about the houses are leaking, and also the houses are not built properly. Again, I want to dispel this misinformation, because most of the houses that are built, they were built properly, and we don't have any difficulty in showing the properties that we have. No. I want to make sure my thing show properly, man. Yeah.
So that was Sister Glow on the 1st of June on the NDC Heartbeat program, when she was speaking about the fact that the houses were not built properly.
Because most of the houses that are built, they were built properly, and we don't have any difficulty in showing the properties that we have.
No. I want to make sure my thing show properly, man. Yeah. Don't come up, don't pop up on the screen again. What are you doing? Yeah.
Talk about the houses are leaking, and also the houses are not built properly. Again, I want to dispel this misinformation, because most of the houses that are built, they were built properly, and we don't have any difficulty in showing the properties that we have built in recent times. I also want to say that we have not only built in Riverside, we have built in Mount Rose, we have built in Hermitage, we have built in Livera, we have built in Sates. And so for those persons who are claiming that the houses are not properly built, they need to basically walk around.
These homes that are
Yeah, they need to basically walk around. Okay, Sister Glow, you hear what the man say? You're claiming them house and them ain't built properly. So they say them houses are disaster. And we have heard from some of the people who have received houses. We have heard from other people. We've heard of situations where people bathing in the bathroom and the water from the bathroom is going into the bedroom. If the minister don't know, maybe he need to walk around a bit. But Sister Glow, here what your cabinet colleague telling you.
We are built in Livera, we are built in Sates. And so for those persons who are claiming that the houses are not properly built, they need to basically walk around.
They need to walk around. Okay, all right, nice.
They talk about the houses are leaking and also the houses are not built properly. Again, I want to dispel this misinformation, because most of the houses that are built, they were built properly, and we do not have any difficulty in.
Most of the houses, you didn't say all, but most of the houses, okay, all right. Because most of 10 is 6, but it still leaves 4 that are badly built. But anyhow, all right, okay, yeah, all right, okay.
Houses are not built properly. Again, I want to dispel this misinformation.
You can't dispel it, or you're dispelling it and you're admitting that some ain't built properly at the same time. You're admitting and at the same time saying you're trying to dispel.
They talk about the houses are leaking and also the houses are not built properly. Again, I want to dispel this misinformation, because most of the houses that are built, they were built properly, and we do not have any difficulty in showing the properties that we have built in recent times. I also want to say that we have not only built in Riverside, we have built in Mount Rose, we have built in Hermitage, we have built in Livera, we have built in Sates. And so for those persons who are claiming that the houses are not properly built, they need to basically walk around.
They need to walk around. All right, yeah, they need to walk around. GIS, so they shouldn't cut through the rest, so he say, I'll show you something out of the way he said it. Because it's Sister Glow he talking to. We weren't the ones that started that conversation about badly built houses. Sister Glow was the one who started the conversation about badly built houses. But then you all want to vex when people take what you say and play. You all always want to vex with the people who take what you say and play. Yeah? That's a fact. We're not the ones who said that the houses were a disaster. Those were not our words. When we say it, we're quoting one of your government ministers that's sitting in cabinet with you each week. If only does have cabinet each week. But we are quoting one of your own ministers when we play these things. When we say it, we're saying it after what you all are saying. It's just like how you all confusing yourselves in relation to the issue of the Beryl relief program. Is the Beryl relief program going to end at the end of the month, this month, July? Is it going to end? Is it going to continue? It's simple, it's either it's going to end or it's going to continue. That's all people really want to know, Will it end? Will it continue? Because you all are seriously confusing folks, and they really don't know who to believe in relation to this thing. You all are confusing folks. So let me just play these for you, for the folks here. Because we are not the ones making these statements. Yeah? They are the ones making the statements, and then they want to blame us when we expand it and let everybody hear it outside of the small audience they thought they were speaking to. They want to upset. So let's hear Sister Glow again.
The housing.
Yeah.
Housing is a big one.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
that's
and
always been.
We've been responding to Beryl since the disaster. A lot of work in Carriacou was done, and in the north, the other parishes were slightly affected, but they were affected, and we're hoping to conclude the Beryl response by end of July. Because you must have a window where you operate for response,
right,
and then you move on. You can't be responding to a disaster for forever.
Oh, well, of course.
Yes,
not.
and what we recognize is that we need to go back to the regular housing program because a lot of people are on the waiting list and they are waiting. We had to set that program aside a bit to focus on the Beryl response.
Right.
Yes. So although some persons receive housing whilst we were doing the response.
And folks, I want you to be very careful and listen to what the minister is saying here. Eh? Listen carefully, because there's something I'll play in a while that the person will tell you basically something totally different to what she's speaking about.
Forever.
Well, of course.
Yes,
not.
and what we recognize is that we need to go back to the regular housing program because a lot of people are on the waiting list and they are waiting. We had to set that program aside a bit to focus on the Beryl response.
Right.
Yes. So although some persons receive housing whilst we were doing the response, we were mainly focusing on Beryl response. So we want to conclude the Beryl response by the end of July.
Right.
So we could continue with the regular housing program. And we've been doing quite a lot. The MIT, Mobilization, Implementation and Transformation, was assisting us in that area. But once we conclude the Beryl response, MIT should be stepping out of house building if they build any houses for people to pay for it. Yes. Yeah, they only came in to assist because of the Beryl impact and the response. Yeah. So once we conclude the Beryl response, MIT should be out of the PTF for housing. Yeah, that is the plan.
Heard from the Minister of Housing, that's Gloria Thomas, that's Honorable Gloria Thomas, that the Beryl Relief Fund will come to a close to the end of July. That's someone heard her mention that. I'm just asking, what will happen to many folks who still are living in tents, especially in Carriacou and Petit Martinique? How will they be catered for if that program comes to an end at the end of July?
Okay, so let me say that the minister's statement is quite correct.
Yeah.
And that we have received, as we said before, 118 million EC dollars thereabout. There are lots of persons who are still saying that, where the money gone? Let me tell you where the money gone. We have basically to date paid out in incentive to farmers and fisher folks, 34 million plus.
Yes.
There are one or two persons out there who claim that they did not receive monies from that program. Again, we still have to continue looking at those who still say they have not received and so on. But that $34 million already is gone out of that 118.
Yes.
There was a $25 million we put at the Grenada Development Bank to assist persons who have had their business destroyed and so on. They can go and get grant loan at 1% interest rate in there. We have pumped a lot of money into the housing, both in Grenada and Carriacou and so on.
Yeah.
I think in St. Patrick alone there was some 15 million. Carriacou might have received another similar amount. So when you look at the monies that I'm telling you about, it adds up. It adds up. And in fact, I could tell you we spend more than the CRIF monies to date on reconstructing Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Yeah. So there is no need to be arguing out there. We can provide you the figures as to where exactly they are. Yeah. And there is no hanky-panky about it. But for those who still believe that that lot of money that we got is still available out there, it's not.
I was asking the question still, what will happen to those individuals who still haven't been...
Government continue to assist.
Government
continue to assist people with housing where needs be. But I've said in other programs and so on, there are persons who might be able to at least put some skin in the game to help change the circumstances.
Yeah.
Because I don't think any government could be able to at least provide a free house for everybody in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. That's just not sustainable and so on. And so we are going to continue our housing program, our WASH program and so on, because in the budget we provided for that. But it has nothing to do with the CRIF monies. It has nothing to do with other resources that we would have received from outside there, because those money have been spent. Let's take, for example, the very first week when Hurricane Beryl hit us. We had to purchase 16 vehicles, 2 trucks, pickups and so on, just to basically help move personnel and debris and so on Carriacou. And these cost us well over $3 million easily. So, yes, we got some grants and funding and so on. But again, those things went out the way easily because there were things to do.
All right. So basically, you're saying now, after that particular relief program comes to an end at the end of July, folks who will be needing assistance, they may have to fund some of the bill for themselves.
Well, the housing program under government had never stopped. Before Beryl and after Beryl. But it would not be in the same magnitude that it is for the last year. Because as I said, we spent serious cash on housing in the last period. Take, for example, in St. Patrick's East. I was on a program the other day trying to explain to people that we have done a lot of houses in this spot, and there are houses still that are ongoing, that they are not finished as yet. We have to continue making them good, because we cannot start a house and if it unfinished for the persons who have had a total loss, we have to continue building it. But again, from time to time you would have pressures on government funding and so on, because again, monies don't just drop from trees. We have to go out there and tax the population to get the monies to do what we have to do. And there are a lot of people who still believe that they should not be paying tax. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
But in general, sir, are you happy with, in terms of the overall recovery?
Two, the government has not, did not, and is not prepared to stop the support to the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. The support will continue as long as we continue our rebuilding process. And we recognize and understand that rebuilding is a process and it takes time. We are in the final but most difficult stage in the recovery effort, which is the rebuilding one, but rebuilding phase. And as I said in Petit Martinique, and I'm saying here today, Dominica, which was devastated by Hurricane Maria 11 years ago, is still recovering. I'm not saying that we need 8 years to recover like Dominica. The point I'm making is that recovery takes time. But all programs. Yeah. So probably I'll start off with the best office, which is the Beryl Secretariat. So to dispel the rumors, those support will continue. However, there's a new spin to the Beryl Secretariat in the sense that before purchasing materials or bringing in any items, household items, or anything related to that you want to replace in your homes, etc., materials, etc., that you're bringing in, whether it's from outside of Grenada or you want to buy it at a local hardware or so, it is advised that you go to the Beryl Secretariat, apply, get your concession letter or your letter to remove the VAT, and then go to the hardware. Instead of purchasing the items and then go to the Beryl Secretariat with the receipt.
So it has changed.
It has changed.
Before you could have purchased
and then
go to for a refund.
It's putting too much pressure on the team in Grenada, who has to then verify that and then to go through a process to reimburse. It is much easier to obtain the concession letter or so forth, and then the concession will be granted. That's concession to bring in any household items, or concessions on bringing in materials from the States or wherever, or Trinidad, wherever. Or in the case of locally purchased items, the removal of taxes, VATs, etc.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, if you already have your receipts and so on inside, efforts will be made, and it's currently being made, to do the refunding. But I can tell you, with the small team that we have in mainland in the revenue office, it is putting a lot of pressure on them to do all of that. And that sort of support will remain in place for as long as the rebuilding takes place. Of course, there's a verification process that it shouldn't take more than a week, 2 weeks for you to get your letter. All right? So that's that. The material support that we have been given, which is currently on pause, there's a couple of things. One, we have to make sure that the people who are actively involved in the construction process are the ones receiving the materials. As we all know, there's a lot of people who panicked. They're not ready to build as yet. They're panicking, thinking that the program will come to an end, and they go and take all the material. And people who are actively involved in construction can't get no material. You can't find window, you can't find doors, you can't find nails.
Yeah, it's stored up there.
But You ain't doing nothing yet, but it stood up. So you're trying to avoid that. And then there are people who didn't have any homes. Let's put it that way. We have to be accountable. You have a house, you apply, and you get through. Because at that time there was no rigorous vetting. Now there is rigorous vetting. So you apply, you get through. So you take advantage of the program. Unfortunately, so we want to avoid that as well. And then you have cases where people took the material and sold the materials. Unfortunately, you have that. So really and truly, people that are impacted and who need the support, not getting it. The good news though is that there is more good than bad. So that's good. And there's thank you always. But we must put systems and measures in place to deal with that. The other honest truth is that in some cases we were owing some of the hardwares, and on principle, we told them to place it on hold until we're able to pay them off. I'm happy to announce that those hardwares have been paid. If not all by now, certainly by Friday, tomorrow, all of them should have been fully paid. So that I can confirm unreservedly.
Okay.
But the program will be reopened, but will be reopened with new criteria. Now, mind you, there are people whose materials were approved and who did not take the materials because, of course, they were not ready to build. Now, you would not be affected in any way. It's a new criteria.
So you're saying once your request has been approved.
Yeah. That's right.
Processed and approved and so on, it would not be affected.
It would not be affected, unless, of course, you approved and we find out you don't own a house. Then obviously you will be affected.
Well, yes. I mean, right. I don't mean in that case.
And if you're not actively involved in the reconstruction, then we'll advise you. Well, if you're not actively involved, if you haven't started anything, then it's best to give someone who has started the priority. Because we know we can't run from it. We know that there's a material shortage on the island. Right now, some of the hardwares don't have sand and gravel. That's a reality.
All of it.
Yes.
All the items are running out from time to time.
I think
and just before, Brother Joseph, again, this is what the experts were saying. How did you manage to do this rebuilding and you don't have major hardwares on the island? Because at that time, hubs didn't even come in. You don't have major hardware on the island. You don't have the amount of materials that is needed. How did you manage? And private people are managing to even put back the roof and how is that? And there is a shortage of material, not just here in Grenada, but regionally. So that is something, again, I think, divine intervention. Because the cabinet was thinking about finding a creative way to see how we could bring in materials from Guyana and other places and find some vacant lands to store those materials, because we know the challenge with material. But thank God, we managed to build and rebuild and all of that with the support from the hardwares on the island. So it's just really and truly a miracle. So I just thought it was important to dispel the rumors that the program come to an end and so on. Mind you, there are some programs that come to an end. So for example, the Minister for Social Development spoke about some of the Beryl support will come to an end, and she's referring to the support from her ministry, especially the Ministry of Social Development, because there's some social support that's given. So for example, you have a number of kayaks that are living in Grenada that the government is taking care of over a year now. So we now need to find a way to move them back here. A lot of these people homes have already been rebuilt. Not only, I think probably one or two people whose home is not built as yet. Measures are being put in place by Minister Gloria Thomas' ministry and the Ministry of Carriacou to build their homes. But the ones whose homes are completed, they cannot go home on their own. They need 24 7K. And this is where we need family members to step in to take care of their loved ones. Because really and truly, the government cannot continue giving continuous support like that. And that is the point that the minister was making. Including the BRISC, there's a support program called BRISC. I can't remember, but it's basically to support small business individuals and seniors. That program was supposed to last for 1 year, and that program too is coming to an end. A few people from Carriacou was part of that program. That is coming to an end as well. So that is what the minister was referring to. But in terms of the actual reconstruction, concession, material support, rebuilding, etc., there's no way. We're coming to an end with this. Now, most ministries have a line item called Beryl response, like MIT, like social development, etc. Those line item will come to an end. The Ministry of Carriacou and Petit Martinique is completely different. As a matter of fact, the Prime Minister's ordered the Ministry of Finance, Cabinet has ordered the Ministry of Finance to find support within various ministries, within wherever they have savings, to support the Beryl response here in Carriacou and Petit Martinique. So the support will continue as long as the rebuilding process continues.
So
but
yes,
all programs.
Yeah.
So probably I'll start.
So yes, indeed, folks. So you've heard it there. I didn't interrupt. I let all of them say play. I let everything that all of them say play. They can't say we say it. They say it. You heard Gloria Thomas. You heard her for yourself, and you heard that what she was speaking about was not no issue with the elderly. Gloria Thomas was not speaking on any issue with the elderly. That is a fact. She was not speaking on any elderly issue. She was speaking specifically to materials. She went so far as to mention that MIT was involved in building houses too. And as of the end of July, they will no longer be involved in building houses and all of that. Yeah? She went that deep. She also said, contrary to what Minister Cornwall said, she said that the building material program was put on hold and that they were going to go back into that now fully at the end of July when the Beryl thing is wrapped up. While you had one or two that was being given out there, now you're going to go back fully into it. So she was speaking about building material and she was speaking about housing program. She was not speaking about any of the other areas that the minister said that is what she was talking about. That is not what she was talking about. We played it for you and you heard her for yourself. That is not what she was speaking about. And then he's speaking about these concessions and so on in relation to the taxes. I think the minister needs to be reminded that the Beryl relief support took place under a specific law. And let me find someone. Yes, right. My good friend. I have some friends. It does make sure I have everything. Yeah, it does make sure it there at my fingertips. Right. So when you're speaking about relief under the Beryl, this is the Tax Administration Post-Hurricane Beryl Fiscal Support Measures Act of 2025. From Act 2025, the act shall be deemed to have come into force on the first day of July 2024, and the relevant period means the period commencing on the 1st of June 2024 and ending on the 31st of January 2025, not 2026. In other words, the tax measures that he is mentioning there, telling people, take your documents and going to the Beryl Support Secretariat and so on, there is no legal basis for it because that tax amnesty thing there and the tax relief on items bought, that ended as of the 31st of January 2025. In other words, that ended 6 months or so ago, 7 months now. Yeah? 6 or 7 months ago, that ended, give or take a few days. And that is where they're telling you bring in your stuff. He's telling you bring in your stuff and so on. But what law is covering what he's speaking about? Can people in Carriacou and Petit Martinique confirm that they are getting these tax breaks? All you're getting it? All you're getting them tax breaks because there is a specific period of time which it refers to, the relevant period, commencing the 1st of June 2024 and ending on the 31st of January 2025. Not me say that is what the law they have in place say. They just want to vex with you when you hit them with the facts. That is why you have to always hit them with the facts. They want to vex with you. They want to curse you. And sometimes they end up cussing themselves because they're thinking they're cussing you. We heard Gloria. We heard Sister Glow. We heard the minister when she was speaking. We heard what she said. And she was not speaking about, let's hear her again, because she was not speaking about any elderly in any home. She was not speaking about any social program like that. She was specific to building material and house repair and building houses. That is what she was speaking about. Let's hear her again.
The housing.
Yeah.
Housing is a big one.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
That's
and
always been.
we've been responding to Beryl since the disaster. A lot of work in Carriacou was done, and in the north, the other parishes were slightly affected, but they were affected, and we're hoping to conclude the Beryl response by end of July. End of July, because you must have a window where you operate for response,
right,
and then you move on. You can't be responding to a disaster for forever.
But according to the minister, that's the intention. So all you're saying, all you want in Grenada, but the king of Carriacou saying where he want up there, His Majesty.
Of course.
Yes,
not.
and what we recognize is that we need to go back to the regular housing program because a lot of people are on the waiting list and they are waiting. We had to say.
Also, you need to go back to the regular housing program. So you're talking about housing here. We thought we were talking about bringing the elderly back to Carriacou. Anyway.
That program aside a bit to focus on the burial response.
Right.
Yes. So although some persons receive housing whilst we were doing the response, we were mainly focusing on burial response. So we want to conclude the burial response by the end of July.
Right.
So we could continue with the regular housing program. And we've been doing quite a lot. The MIT, mobilization implementation.
Well, we're still waiting to hear where's the elderly people to bring them back to Carriacou and the business support program. We're still waiting to hear that is those things Sister Glow speaking about. This is just her straight, nice, yeah.
And transformation was assisting us in that area, but once we conclude the burial response, MIT should be stepping out of house building if they build any houses for people to pay for it. Yes, yeah, they only came in to assist because of the burial impact and the response. Yeah. So once we conclude the burial response, MIT should be out of the PTF for housing.
Yeah, so we're still waiting to hear where she was speaking there about elderly and all these other things that the minister is claiming were the real things that she was referring to, and is not the housing part of it and that kind of thing. I wonder if he was
regionally. So that is something again, I think, yes, because we know the challenge, a miracle. So I just thought it was important to dispel the rumors.
Yeah, dispel the rumors.
That the program come to an end and so on. Mind you, there are some programs that come to an end. So for example, the Minister for Social Development spoke about some of the burial support will come to an end. And she's referring to the support from her ministry, especially the Ministry of Social Development, because there's some social support that's given. So for example, you have a number of kayaks that are living in Grenada that the government...
folks, you all could tell me if you heard her speak about any of that. You could call at any time and tell me if that's what you heard. Anyhow.
Government is taken care of over a year now. So we now need to find a way to move them back here. A lot of these people homes have already been rebuilt. Not only, I think probably one or two people whose home is not built as yet. Measures are being put in place by Minister Gloria Thomas Ministry and the Ministry of Carriacou and Petit Martinique to build their homes. But the ones whose homes are completed, they cannot go home on their own. They need 24/7 care. And this is where we need family members to step in to take care of their loved ones. Because really and truly, the government cannot continue giving continuous support like that. And that is the point that the minister was making. Including the BRISC, there's a support program called BRISC. I can't remember, but it's basically...
We ain't hear she speak about any of that, but go ahead.
...to support small business individuals and seniors. That program was supposed to last for 1 year, and that program too is coming to an end. A few people from Carriacou was part of that program. That is coming to an end as well. So that is what the minister was referring to. But in terms of the actual reconstruction, concession, material support, rebuilding, etc., there's no way. We're coming to an end with this. Now, most ministries have a line.
Maybe have your own treasury and thing up there. I know. Maybe you're doing your own thing, because according to what we see, according to what I've shown you a short while ago, the period for those concessions and so on, that has expired. So if it has been extended, please point us to the documentation that period has been expanded from the ones that we're seeing here, from the 1st of June to the 31st of January 2025. Please point us to the documentation that shows that any such concessions or tax breaks, etc., removal of VAT, all of that, show us to the documentation that has extended that to this period of time. Yeah? And definitely, what you're claiming the minister was speaking about is not what she was speaking about. I don't understand how these individuals feel they could just gaslight us into believing things that are not true. And the thing is, they say these things so smooth and so confidently that they will make you second guess yourself as is. Boy, I wonder if it's that I really hear the man say. You would be second guessing yourself, you know, and wondering, boy, I wonder if it's really that the man saying there. You understand? No, something definitely had to be wrong. Something definitely has to be wrong with this group of individuals. You know, in fact, you know, I feel wrong with them. I think I know what's wrong with some of them, you know. Yeah, let me see if I could find it. I have a feeling that is what's wrong with some of them. Yeah, it had to be reverse day drinking or something. Something ain't right with these individuals. Because they're telling you one thing. Then when you take it and you put it out there and you explain it to people, then they're coming to say, well, it's not that we say, you know. So the Prime Minister could come out and admit that there's corruption. When you come now and you say, well, the Prime Minister admits there's corruption, or he never admitted there's any corruption. He admitted that there's corruption. While he said it's not widespread. Me, you know, is with he and spreading spreading wide thing, I don't know. But I don't know why is he with that. But to come and say it's not widespread does not say that there is not corruption. Then you heard the minister with responsibility for Carriacou and Petit Martinique affairs a short while ago. You heard him saying that many people who should get in Carriacou are not getting. So even he is admitting that some people who should have gotten certain things have not got it. Meanwhile, people who should not have gotten, they get. He admitted. I ain't going and play over all 9 minutes of that. That was too much of time out of my program anyway. Yeah? But he's admitting that, hey, there are people who really and truly, when you check yourself, boy, them people should not have gotten. And these people should have got. And with that, you still have people coming to try and defend that nonsense. Man, come on, man. All you can't be real. All you cannot be real. Because there is no way you could tell me that these people honestly and truly like people. You're telling me you're the MP for Carriacou and Petit Martinique affairs. You're basically the head honcho on the island of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. And you know for a fact that there are people that should have gotten and they ain't get. And there are people that should not have gotten and they get. And you comfortable in yourself like that, you could sleep at night? Listen, Kindra Maturin Stewart could have never sleep a single night as MP with something like that happening. The former MP Elvin G. Nimrod, God bless his soul, he's gone to the great beyond, would never have been able to sleep at night with a situation like that existing. He would have do all within his power with the full support of the NNP cabinet to ensure that as much could have been done for as many in the shortest period of time. We're not saying that any government would have been able to rebuild Carriacou and Petit Martinique fully at this point in time. But you stated that you know that there are people that need the help and they didn't get it. Meanwhile, people that did not need it, people that could afford. You all there, you all know. People that could afford, they get material and thing to go and fix the place. They ain't bother with it. People who didn't need it because they take the material and they sold it. So you all ain't doing assessment and have people down in grades and saying, well, look, this person is total destruction and this person is partial. This person could stay in what they have, as bad as it is, they could stay comfortably inside there. We will help them, but let us help those with total destruction. You all haven't graded people. You know how they grade people in Carriacou and Petit Martinique? They grade them not by level of destruction, but by level of political allegiance. That's what they grade them by. They grade them by level of political allegiance. So instead of grading them, as you do after a natural disaster, a national disaster, because the government itself is a national disaster, but how you grade things after a disaster like that, you grade it by the level of destruction and you say, we're going to fix these, and then we're going to fix these, and then we're going to do these, and we're going to do these. And within those different sets, you still have subsets, because you're going to look now and you're going to say, well, okay, this person has a differently able child. The child can't walk or different things like that. They have a differently able child. The child has some capacity, whichever way. Let's deal with this person, and so they could get that child out of this situation quickly, because then things could develop and that could be a worse situation. Or that these people, they are elderly, they have medical conditions, or this person, they have medical conditions, or so that you put those in the first category of people that you sort out. You don't leave them behind and rush and do other people who didn't need to take material and sell, and they're brave enough to come on radio, not national radio, that tweedle dumb a bomb and they bring dumb. Yes, so you go on radio and actually brave enough to come out and say that. And you could sleep in the night, knowing that it have women, young women, sleeping in tent tonight with their children, while other people get material and sell it, while people who didn't need it get it. You feel comfortable to come on radio and say that without asking for forgiveness from the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. You feel comfortable to come and talk when not a single house in Petit Martinique has been completed. A year and not one. Because again, it's not based on level of damage, it's based on level of political allegiance. So if you're a strong supporter, not of the NDC, and all your NDC in Carriacou and Petit Martinique, don't get it wrong, because all you're seeing it for all yourself. It's not even based on being an NDC, Because I know some strong NDC supporters that ain't get nothing. You know why? Because they're not in the circle. They're not in the circle, the close circle that is around the present MP. So it's not just being an NDC, and I was always an NDC, and I just vote NDC, and I just put on my t-shirt and campaign. It's not just that, You have to be close to the MP too. You have to be rubbing shoulders with him and bouncing hip. You have to be right there. Because if you're not there, you don't get in nothing. So it is based on political allegiance. It is not based on want. It is not based on need. It is based on political allegiance. And for somebody to have the gall, the unmitigated gall, to come and say what they say and not ask for forgiveness. When you do something like that, the first thing you're supposed to do is come and ask for the forgiveness of the people. Because all tonight, you expect some bad weather to be. There's a tropical system, not a storm or anything, but at least it's going to bring a lot of rain, expected to bring a lot of rain between tonight into tomorrow in Grenada and possibly Carriacou, Petit Martinique. So I expect these rain systems to be moving in. Hopefully they dissipate and we don't get any of that. Hopefully. But you feel comfortable knowing what you know, doing what you have done, and continuing to do it, and going and talk to people as though all is well. No. Something had to definitely be wrong with you, man. Something had to definitely be wrong with you. Folks, 440-7377, and yeah, that's it. 1473-440-7377. Call us on the WhatsApp. And we've got a call online. Hello, good night.
Good night, Sheldon.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
Yeah, good, man. We had the most rain here today that we had for the whole year. And I thought of the people in Carriacou and stuff that they ain't got nowhere to sleep.
Well, I hope you go up and you go across, we.
Yeah. We had a lot of rain, boy. Real rain for a whole day. Anyway, what I really call about tonight on Janice's show, I see they got some people are leaving some nasty comments on her comment section. It didn't call for that. Listen to the message. Facts come first. And if you want to leave a message, leave a positive message of some kind or negative message. Not insulting her and looks and all of that. It's distasteful. And the thing about it, they don't have the genuine name and it's distasteful. You could do better than that. Grenadians could do better than that. You don't have to be an NP or NDC. And if you're going to leave a comment on an NP station, you figure that she think and still making comments that she don't belong anywhere and all of them kind of things, it's not relevant. Leave a proper comment or don't leave a comment at all. And we think so. Don't let nobody bombard your show with all the nasty comments, Sheldon.
Boss, you forget this Sheldon, you know. They can't come here. They can't come here because one, they can't call me no unknown number and feel I go answer, don't answer. And secondly, if they call and they come with a nastiness, you know I put in all the number and the troops go call them. So they come in. And they can't come, if they come under the live, they don't last for long because we don't tolerate nonsense there.
I know.
Yeah,
and the next thing is, I like how Terry is doing his interviews, man. The interview there that you show with Gloria.
Sister Glo?
I mean, with Sister Glo. It's nice to have.
I feel she's a.
I like how he does his interviews. Yeah. I mean, what kind of interview is that? You don't ask what can be happen after the time is up. Nothing. So, you're right. Hey, man. Have a good night, Mr. Scott. Time running out. Have a good night. Get home safe and enjoy your weekend.
All right. Thank you so very much for
You have a program tomorrow or you're not too sure yet?
Well, my friend, Cammy said 2 people dropped. Somebody dropped 10, somebody dropped 20. But on the online platform that we have, I realize people just ignoring me. They don't want the Friday program. So I am not going to force the point if they don't want the Friday program. I'm not going to force the point.
Well, have a long rested weekend.
I was willing to do both the Friday and the Sunday, but I realized they ain't interested. So, so be it.
All right, my brother. Well, enjoy your weekend.
All right. Thank you very much, Paige. All right.
Yeah. All right.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, I realized they're interested, man. But I might still do it, you know. I might still do the Friday program. Because even if it's $10 somebody give and somebody give 20, I think I owe it to those people to do the Friday program. So I'll do the Friday program, but don't look out for the Sunday one. All right? And for the person in Carriacou who made sure they try and help as well, yes, I'm going to do the Friday program, but I ain't doing the Sunday one. All right? Yes, indeed. 1473-440-7377. That's 1473-440-7377. Those are the numbers for you to get onto the inside of tonight. So, folks, we'll be on tomorrow night, right? Nice. Yes, but the Sunday one, no. So it'll be on tomorrow night. Indeed. 1473-440-7377. Imagine that. These people are saying things. It is the year 2025. It is not the year 1905. It is not the year 1965. It is the year 2025. So when they say things, it is obvious we can capture it while they're saying it. And if we can't capture it while they're saying it, within a short while after, we can get exactly what they said, word for word. Yeah? When we play it, they want to cuss us for playing what they say. They want to cuss us when they are the ones that can't get a story straight. Imagine people sitting down in the same cabinet. Well, are you in friends? Or is it that Tevin going off on a tangent of his own and doing his own thing? Because he's studying his own seat when election come. So he means Sister Glo could say what she wants to know. Because right now, it's Delma go run for that seat and she ain't going to run anyway. So Sister Glo could say what she want. And don't worry about the Minister of Finance. Don't worry about Cornwall. Because he go lose too. But I have to hold on to my seat. So them could say what they want. I doing what I want in Carriacou. I want to tell people come with them things that to find a way and pay the people and find a way and do the things. Because we know he has that sort of temperament. And the thing is, these people put over these nonsense and things to you so smooth that you might have believed them. They come in so smooth with these nonsense to you that you and all might have believed, boy, I ain't sure is that a here, you know. It's not that the man is saying truth, you know. You listened a short while ago, earlier when I was on the other issue, and I played what the Prime Minister was saying. And you recognize every time something happens, you know, little children have a defense mechanism. Yeah? Children have a defense mechanism. Very rare you find children who always just accept blame for something. Like, yes, it's me that do that. No, it's not me, it's he. That's children for you. 3 children playing in a room, something fall, each one saying is the next one do it. So you can't find out which one is the real one that do it. 3 of them might be blaming each other, even though 2 of them know is one do it, each of them trying to blame the other one to get out of it. And that is a typical explanation of this government. So the talk of corruption that started with the NDC in relation to the housing program, all of a sudden, they're trying to take the blame away from MIT after the Minister of Finance sit down there and blame the Ministry of Housing and the Ministry of Mobilization, Implementation and Transformation. After the minister sit down there and blame those 2 ministries for not doing their jobs because they are the ones that hire incompetent people. They are the ones that pay the incompetent people without seeing a nail driven or a trench dig. And they are the ones that allow these incompetent people not going back and check every week as they should be doing. Every week, they should be going and check on the job site. They didn't do it. Their salary running. They're getting their money in their pocket. They're going online, who does travel, all kind of thing. They're getting their money in their pocket. Meanwhile, they have not been doing their job. And I ain't even blaming the staff as much as I'm blaming the ministers in charge who are supposed to guide the processes going on and ensure getting daily reports or weekly reports at least to say this is where we at, and be able to watch the weekly reports and say these is from people who go in or these are people who not go in. But instead of that, you have this situation where all of this simidimi take place outside there. And who get the blame? The contractors at the end of the day. The people who went and do the crookish things. The people who you gave money illegally to up front and then trying to bamboozle us by telling us, no, it's not them, it's not government they get the money from, it's from lending institutions. Andy Williams, who you think is a fool? The only fool here is you, because you think you could fool the Grenadian people. How do they get the money from financial? What damn financial institutions they get the money from? And the government say they're going to audit them for monies that they receive. The government can't audit them for monies they receive from the financial institutions, only if the financial institution is the government of Grenada. So don't try those semantics and all those kind of things on us. The bottom line is that you are responsible, but now they're trying to blame the contractors. So the political party putting out press release, they're trying to blame the contractors. The minister mouth start to change, now it start to twist, and they're blaming the contractors. It's not the contractors, it's you that hire them. You hire incompetent people, you hire crooked people, you had them in a position where you were supposed to be monitoring them, you did not monitor them, you paid them when you're not supposed to pay them, you allowed them to spend all the money and not do the project, and now you come in and blame them, you have to take the blame too. The most blame is on you. And in all of that, you all still apologize to the people, like the people up in St. Patrick who house you went and break down and tell them you're coming and build house. Had the people renting, you not paying for the rent, you know. They have to go and find the money and pay for the rent on a monthly basis because they were told, we're going to demolish your house. And after we demolish your house, we'll have a house for you in 1-2 months. We're going to have a new house there for you and you could move into the house. So they take what they could take, what remained after the hurricane, put it aside, allow you to demolish the house, waiting for house now, contractor disappear, money gone, no house, and they left with the bag now, having to find the money. Your government is not paying for their rent. They have to find the money now and pay for the rent for the place, when they should have had a new place by now. When all, in some instances, the place needed is a roof. But no, we're going to build back better. We're going to this, we're going to that. You hear the Prime Minister talking now, trying to shift the blame now onto the Gravel and Concrete Emulsion Corporation. No, Mr. Prime Minister, you are the Minister of National Security. The buck stops with you. You are responsible for security issues in this country. And that is a security issue that could have affected our tourism. You could have caused the deaths of our children, us, our families, people visiting the country. You could have caused the deaths of many people. Because your ministry allowed the transportation on the road. Gravel and Concrete can't just go down in SSU and take up no dynamite and go up in Telescope. And out of all places, why Telescope? One of the biggest villages in the country, with one of the highest populations. Why go in Telescope to go? Yes, of course, they used to do that down there. But isn't there another location you all could have used? What about the quarry that is just closer to there in, what do you call it? Where like you're going into Lansapine there, Mount Hartman. What about in the back there? Why wasn't they thought of as an area to go and dispose of that? Why take it, and instead of that short drive or whatever you might have to use to get it to there, instead of that, you all took it. How much miles up into St. Andrew, into Telescope? Passing schools, because we don't know what time of the day all you pass. So we don't know if all you pass schools with people look at children inside it. We don't know if all you pass churches, maybe wedding, funeral, whatever is going on. We don't know. We don't know the time of day you all pass with it. We don't know how you pass with it. We don't know what kind of vehicle you're passing it with. And fellas, whoever drive that, all you have all your belly boy. They have to give all you a medal. Whoever drive that from SSU camp up to there, all you deserve the highest national award. All you have, all your belly. And then you bring it up into Telescope, and then this thing happens. So imagine if that had happened on the road to Telescope. To the people of St. David, if it passed through St. David. If it passed through St. David. Or if you pass it through Bolio going up there, over the Granatang, well, the Granatang is the Granatang. But then you come down into Birch Grove and those areas there, through the town of Grenville. You pass through Grenada's Valley? Valley people were exposed to that? You see the kind of danger that these incompetent people put people in. And it's simply because they believe and they have this feeling and they have this chip on the shoulder that they always know and they already know. So they don't believe they have to ask anybody a question. They don't believe they have to ask for advice. They head big. They know already. Don't tell them nothing. And don't tell them nothing could have caused the deaths of thousands of people. Because they think they know already. Yeah? There are so many scenarios in which this thing could have been much worse. We have to just thank goodness that we know God is a Grenadian. Yeah. People stop saying that after Ivan, but yeah. Because just a little difference, and believe me, it could have been much worse. The Prime Minister, as Minister of National Security, has to take blame. But typical children behavior, gravel and concrete go out to take the heat for this one. And it's unfortunate because gravel and concrete, in no calculation in my mind, let me repeat it, in no calculation in my mind should gravel and concrete have to take the heat for this one. None. Because explosives are a national security matter, not a gravel and concrete matter. Yes, it belonged to gravel and concrete. The reason it was on a Ministry of National Security compound was because it is a national security issue. That is why it was not stored by gravel and concrete on gravel and concrete. It was stored where? In the SSU barracks. Why was it stored there? Because it is a national security risk. That is why it was placed there. And as such, disposal of that national security risk should have been totally in the purview of the security forces of our country. So don't come and try to blame gravel and concrete. Yeah, gravel and concrete, if they have enough money. I don't think they have enough money. You know. If they have enough money and they could build back houses and fix back people thing and give them back all this stuff that mash up, all well and good, all power to it, do it as fast as possible. The people deserve it. They didn't deserve what happened to them. Give them back the thing. But let the blame go where the blame's supposed to go. The blame is on the Minister and Ministry of National Security because they could have caused the deaths of many of us in our country. We would not even know what happened. Would have just be a flash, and next thing we know, we're talking to we long lost relatives in the afterlife. So folks, that's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. It's been wonderful being here, and yes, we will be doing Talking Points tomorrow night, God's willing. So tune in. All right, nice. Make sure you all tune in. We'll be on tomorrow night with Talking Points for you. My name is Sheldon Scott. I am out of here. In everything you say and do it safe and secure. Want to be speaking to and with you, and definitely not about you. I am out.
want me them day, night or day. Yeah. And you hand up them, your life they will take away. Say what? Yeah. All you fretting me. We walk good about you ain't give a fuck. What them bandit do, all you look for that. All you fretting me. Some of all you sit if in your area. Not one of all you call the officer. All you fretting me. Say, don't fret me, don't fret me, don't fret me, don't fret me, don't fret me. Say, don't fret me, don't fret me, don't fret me. All you fretting me. Yeah. These very same fellas commit murder. We take several years to solve it after. Concealing the crime is delaying time. Still police cannot put cat in their behind. What? Say what? All you fretting me. We walk good about you, don't give a fuck. We ask you question, you don't know about that. All you fretting me. Them brute don't want you to live happily, yet you hold back information from we. All you fretting me. Hey! Don't fret me, 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 don't fret me. I said don't fret me. All you fretting me. Yeah! Right there, baby. If we raise a hand, all you run and ready, you wrong the tongue to bring back morality in this place. We should let all those bandits fight their own case. Say that. All you fretting me. We walk good about you, don't give a fuck. The media and liars riding we back. All you fretting me. In the act we hold them crook fair and square. Liars say the client was never there. All you fretting me. Don't fret me, 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 don't fret me. I said don't fret me, man. All you fretting me. Yeah. Think about it. We are working so hard, man, and you all still running us down. Don't do that to us, man. Don't chant to us like that, man. Our drug men want to operate freely, to spoil the good name of our country. When we capture them, they call the liar. Yeah. Judge and lawyer see police as the offender. Say what? What is that? All you fretting me. Yeah. We walk good about judge, don't give a fuck, because all of them are food in the pot. All you fretting me. A guy attempt to rape a young lady. The judge and juror set the damn man free. All you fretting me. Hey! Don't fret me, don't fret me, don't fret me, don't fret me, don't fret me. I said don't fret me, don't fret me. I said don't fret me.